opogore, nyifiwa waji opogore. Omera waji opogore, nyifiwa waji opogore. Omera waji opogore, nyifiwa waji opogore. Omera waji opogore, nyifiwa waji opogore. Samanga toringo giben, anero andino tienda pin, to samari oginyuka gomogo. Ngato yengo puko chemo, aomara
Yo, ba, bese lagudu. Dok don kati bu karkai kadana dimonda adia chie.
On my 20th birthday, I thought it was wise going to celebrate it with my longtime friends in Homa Bay, my hometown. On the eve of the birthday, I had so many friends coming over. It was such a good time and a wonderful reunion. That is when I met Cynthia for the first time.
The event was so hyped up. Apparently, I was dragged home by a friend. I had not taken alcohol in such a long time. Everyone was just absorbed in the party. I decided to get some fresh air, and so I excused myself out of the place. It wasn't so long before the birthday boy followed me.
SRHR Alliance Kenya is a very special organization which is a partnership of organizations that are working on issues SRHR in the country. Sometimes, I think around 2013, we then had this vision of all organizations that are working on the aspects of SRHR for particularly the young people, but also including the women, to come together and try to share and discover what are the various organizations then focusing on. So from 2013, then these organizations, we agreed to come together and work together for the sole purpose of not duplicating the efforts, so that at least we can enhance the efficiency of the resources that we are having, because the resources we are having are few, but yet the problem we are having as far as our country is concerned is vast.
I looked around and saw this beautiful girl all alone. So I decided, why don't I go shoot my shot? Just a boy's thing. I approached her, had a little chat with her, and politely requested for her phone number. After the event, she became the center of my focus. I will text and call her just to show her much attention. In 3 days before I could leave Homa Bay, I had managed to get her to fall for me.
So at the Alliance, what we ensure for young people is that we ensure, first of all, that they have access to information and education on SRHR, and that they also have services and reproductive health commodities. Aside from that, we majorly focus on advocacy. So this is because throughout the years when young people have been involved in the projects, it's always been people speaking for them and people doing things that they assume that young people would want. But the SRHR Alliance is here to ensure that young people actually take part in decision making of their own lives and their own rights, that they are best placed to demand for their own rights, especially on reproductive health. So far, especially with the programs that we've been able to implement, young people have been trained and capacity built to be able to hold their leaders accountable on matters of reproductive health.
Things happened so fast. He was so caring and romantic. He gave me the attention I needed. I would say he was there for me the moment I needed. I think a day after the party, we went to their place, said hi to his dad, and before he left for the city, I agreed to his request of having me at his place for a sleepover.
So at national level, the Alliance has really enjoyed a good relationship with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education. The government in Kenya has really given us an enabling environment to actually succeed in sharing SRHR information with young people. Developed a lot of documents, policies, guidelines, frameworks with the ministry, both the Ministry of Health and Education, which are our primary line ministries that we work with. So we have the guidelines, especially the ones for the youth-friendly centers, and which these guidelines specifically state that young people should be able to access SRH services in government facilities, and their guidelines and procedures and on how this should be. We also have the National School Health Policy. We also have the Adolescent Health Framework. The government has really worked with us, and we are seeing a lot of positivity. We have the president during the Women Deliver and also during the ICPD 25 conferences, who also stated and mentioned about ending FGM in the country. And with that sort of leadership, our organization has been able to thrive in this setup in regards to sexual reproductive health. However, unfortunately, we still have many challenges, because a lot of what we are seeing, especially on the ground, is a lot of these documents that have been developed are not fully implemented. And so the implementation is where the challenges come in. And that is where the Alliance and her partners also come in to ensure that these guidelines are disseminated.
Anaerobics is an organization based in Nairobi, Kenya, that exists to foster the development, empowerment, and transformation of disadvantaged young people through the use of innovative and creative use of technology. We work with young people between the age of 17 to 24 who specifically come from Nairobi's informal settlements. At Anaerobics, our focus is majorly economic empowerment of young people. However, we have a keen interest to ensure that we provide a holistic program, and this is why we include sexual and reproductive health rights. Anaerobics has implemented the sexual and reproductive health rights for more than 10 years, starting with United for Body Rights, followed by Right Here, Right Now, and the latest program has been Get Up and Speak Out.
I agree, I've never been a good mother to my daughter. Though I gave her everything she needed, clothes, food, everything. I don't know why she decided to go looking for men. Her pregnancy really caught me off guard. I feel so irresponsible as a mother.
To be honest, I was terribly shocked as I did the test. And yes, I was pregnant. After talking to John, though he was a little skeptical about it, he accepted the responsibility, and that gave me hope.
As much as I accepted the responsibility, my mind was almost freaking out. It was not that easy. Where was I to take the child? If she was to come to stay with me, how would I go about it? And the question that kept bugging me was, how will I get the resources to sustain the girl that's pregnant with my child? I opened up to one of my closest friends, and within no time, I found myself doing sugar mummies. At first, the job was paying me so well, but my involvement with sugar mummy was a secret I was willing to take to the grave.
In the course of our work, when we work with young people, they have quite a number of challenges that they encounter, and especially considering that most of them are not working, and probably their parents also are not able to fend for them. So we get stories of our young people being engaged in sex, especially with older women, who in return give them money. And actually the issue of pregnancy does not even come in, especially for young women. And they don't even care about HIV. So for them, as long as they get that money from these older women, they are able to satisfy their girlfriends, and probably in the course of doing that, the girlfriends will get pregnant, and the young man will also get HIV from the old ladies, because it is a chain of activity in terms of sexual actions. So definitely the mamas have their other partners, and these young people are already infecting their partners, and of course there's pregnancy. So it's really a very challenging scenario that we deal with.
The cash was booming, and I didn't notice when I was getting myself in trouble. They dropped me like I was nothing, and it hit me I had contracted HIV. I obviously knew if I had it, Cynthia had it too. I was very disturbed, and the only option was to reach out. I had limited options. My dad was the last person I was thinking about. I went to this pastor. We spoke, and he provided me with what I needed: the SRHR Alliance.
Most of the areas that, like in Nyakacho, usually had a big impact of teen pregnancy is the West Nyakach. This one borders between now Kisumu County and Homa Bay County. And you find that there's a lot of fisher folk, because it's where it's the lake market, and that's where usually the fish depot is. So we learned that in those areas, due to the socio-economical status again, you find there's a lot of involvement of teen-to-teen marriages, because of trying to stand the normal things of getting food on the table, education and all that.
Adolescents live in a rapidly changing landscape where communities may have contrary opinions about adolescents having access to information and may challenge the thinking that adolescents don't have a right to receive information. What we are saying is that the SRH Alliance deploys a three approach towards providing information to adolescents while at the same time informing communities about the importance and significance of providing information and services to adolescents, because by doing like that we secure the future of millions of adolescents and we guarantee the development of this nation towards realization of Vision 2030 by building skills and knowledge of adolescents across our society. One of the most innovative programs delivered by the Sexual Reproductive Health Alliance has been what we call the Get Up Speak Out program, which has focused on 3 or 4 main components, including delivery of sexuality information, access to services, reproductive health services, that includes strengthening service delivery, improving community perspectives on SRH, but also increasing the voices of adolescents across the country in programming and policy influencing. So it's one of the most robust and innovative programs that has given adolescents an opportunity to influence their own welfare, growth, and development for this country.
My story began when I was in Form 2 at Butere Girls High School, where I got pregnant. When I got pregnant under a very hard circumstance, and I was staying with my grandmother. So because of the burden my grandmother had, I feared I couldn't tell her. And then, so I went to Madam. She was my best friend and she was someone whom I can lean on. So I told her my problem and she acted as a parent. She took me to the hospital. So I explained to her that, at that point I was 16 years old. I told her, I can't carry a baby at this point. But she just said, it's okay, we'll sort it out. So for me, I thought she was working out on how she can help me carry out an abortion. So I relaxed. But when I realized that she was not after abortion, she had actually called my grandmother. And when my grandmother came on phone, when she spoke to me, she was crying and weeping, like she's saying, you are the only hope I had. So what has happened again? So I felt bad. And I remember I tried to commit suicide 3 times when I was in school. So they teach people, these people from Teach, they just came as, let's say, God sent. They came to speak to ladies, to girls, to our school. So they found me when I was in a very bad state, and they removed me from the sick bay and went to the principal's office so that other ladies might not know what was going on. So there they talked to me, they spoke to me, and at that point it's when they told me, like, the reason why somebody invented a rubber was because he knew human beings are to make errors, and at one point people make mistakes. But what we do, if you make a mistake, you have to rub it out.
The Get Up Speak Out program is a 5-year program funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands. It is implemented by a consortium of NL-UK-based organizations, namely Rutgers as lead agent, Simavi, AIDS Funds, Choice for Youth and Sexuality, Dance for Life, and IPPF. We have been supporting the SRHR Alliance for the past 9 years because we believe by working in partnership with SRHR Alliances, we can reach a bigger and more diverse group. The Get Up Speak Out program is a successor program to what we know as the Unite for Body Rights program, which was implemented from 2011 to 2015, and the Access to Services and Knowledge program, fondly known as the ASK program. Under GUSO, we believe in partnerships. We believe in collaboration and working together. We believe in complementarity efforts of members, which is why, under the Get Up Speak Out program, we support the Kenya SRHR Alliance by funding their activities to meet, to reflect, to strengthen their work and sustain the outcomes and the impact they're having on the lives of young people in Kenya.
I fell in love with the team of professionals that were there. As much as I didn't know how to break it down to Cynthia, they did it for me. All went so fine, and I'm glad to announce with no fear that I'm a happy dad of a bouncing baby boy.
unfortunately, and the demand of what we are doing, the demand of SRHR in this country is huge. Young people still need this information, and as you can see, especially during COVID-19, the information is needed. So unfortunately, our work is not done. We are still looking out there. Of course, funding is a big part of what we do and how we do it. So as much as we are proud of our successes, we don't want them to end there. We don't want our successes to end in 2020. And so we are looking at fundraising and resource mobilizing. We're looking at different partners to see how they can fund us or how we can partner so that we can continue this good work that we've been doing.
Get up, speak out.